Good morning to everybody out there in the Twilight Zone. I'm just going to make a video here, and it is going to have to do with mind control and what I see happening in this country and likely across the earth. This has to do with the Russia-Ukraine scenario that's been going on, and what I see, and this is just my opinion, and of course it's for educational purposes only, really. But this whole thing that I see with quite significant percentage of the population, not only in the United States but in other parts of the world, is how many people jumped on this anti-Russian bandwagon and actually in support of the Ukraine. And this tends to be, from my observations, is these are the wannabe socialists, communists that we have now, that are very vocal and seemingly in control of the United States government. But I'll just focus right now on the people in general, the regular people. You see it on social media, this type of thing, is that these wannabe communist socialists are actually against a country such as Russia, which has been for many decades notoriously communist, while simultaneously the Ukraine has been notoriously fascist. Yet they are totally against the Ukraine, or actually, let me rephrase that. They are totally for the Ukraine, and at the same time, in this country, these wannabe communists are saying that they're anti-fascists. Now, this video, I want to discuss mind control, because what I just pointed out there makes absolutely no sense. You have a segment of people, and I'll just stick with the United States, they claim to be anti-fascist, which, and based on my observations, they are leaning towards wanting to be communists and socialists. And they are supporting a country such as the Ukraine that is, frankly, fascist, while many of them, self-professed, are communists and socialists in the United States, are actually against a country such as Russia that is notoriously communist. Now think about that for a second. It makes no sense, and this is where mind control comes in, because actually that mindset makes no sense whatsoever. Zero. But here's the mind control thing, and I'll just point out maybe one or two things of how easily mind control of a population can be obtained. And I won't get into carrier signal frequencies and all of that, but if anybody has any interest, you could look into this. This goes way back in the day before TVs. It was in radios, and then of course with the coming of television, there are carrier frequencies that ride on the main frequency that, for example, comes through a TV set. Sometimes it's referred to as piggybacking, but that's another thing. It is definitely a part of it, of putting someone under mind control. But this is something that is not blatantly being seen on the TV or a radio or definitely through a TV. So I'll save that for another time, maybe, the piggyback frequencies. But this is what you hear and what you see. And with mind control, a way to put someone under a state of mind control, and there are many ways, really, but one thing that I would point out, and most people would have probably would have observed, is repetition. And prior to the Russian-Ukraine scenario, this whole anti-Russian thing was already being planted in people's minds with a former president. And so the basis had already been laid, the suggestion had already been planted. Then move forward and up until the point to where this conflict actually escalated between Russia and the Ukraine. And if you notice how the mainstream media and the old-timey newspapers that actually has ink on paper and type thing, this repetition, this is an element of mind control, and it is very powerful. Repetition. You repeat something over and over and over and over. This is anchoring the suggestion. It is reinforcing it. Most commonly known probably as anchoring. But way before the conflict between Russia and the Ukraine, the word Russia, that country, was being mentioned over and over and over. It had nothing to do with the conflict between Russia and the Ukraine at that time, but that word, that country, was already being planted into people's minds. See, this is how it works. This was an anchoring. It had planted the suggestion. Everybody already knew this whole investigations into all kinds of stuff and all this stuff. And then you move forward into when some kind of conflict starts between these two countries, and every single day, all day long, all anybody hears when they listen to mainstream media is repetition. Not that I cannot be redundant, I admit it, but I'm just saying this is a mind control technique. Excuse me, continuing to repeat. And I'm just saying it was effective because I can see the Antifa, anti-fascist group, for some reason, which obviously is mind control, are supporting a country like the Ukraine that is notoriously fascist. And at the same time, are leaning or have allegiance to a communist socialist ideology. And at the same time, are against a country such as Russia that is notoriously communist. So that's it. That's what I got to say about it. It's mind control. This and you know what? It is not to say that these people that are on board anti-Russian, pro-Ukraine do not actually believe what they believe that they believe, because they do. They are under mind control. And I'll just end this video by saying there are many methods and techniques of mind control, but I will say repetition is one of them. Probably one of the most powerful ones. And whether it is some big time newspaper up in New York City or in Washington, D.C., or on mainstream media that regurgitates the same thing hour after hour, day after day, week after week, is a anchoring mind control technique. So in conclusion of this video, I'll just say I'm not political. I have no allegiance to Russia or the Ukraine. I figure those people, for the most part over there, are just trying to survive like just everybody else in this world these days. It's the leaders of the countries probably that care more about blowing everybody up and everything than the people that are trying to feed their families or have a place to live. But I have no political inclinations of any kind. I don't even like politics. This video is not about politics. It is about mind control and how easily the masses can be put under mind control and they don't even know that they are under mind control. So that's it. That's all I got to say. This video kind of went long. Everybody stay safe out there. Have a great day. Bye.